Hi everybody. I was trying to think of what I was going to do for my next video. I couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do. So I decided after watching something that Pam had done that I would show that. She did something, I can't remember if she called it her essential non-essentials or her non-essential essentials or whatever. Her grab bag, her goodie bag. So I decided that I would show you what I have in mind. Mine's actually a box, just like that. It sits next to the chair I sit in. And it has all kinds of stuff in it. A lot of stuff I don't use all the time, but invariably I have reached for everything in this box at least once. Start with basics. Obviously I have like hand lotion, hand sanitizer, because as we all know, your hands dry out really bad in working with yarn. This one's my favorite. It's the Bath & Body Works stuff, and this is Sweet Pea, and it doesn't make my hands feel greasy or anything. So I have that. I use safety pins a lot for marking rows on my projects, so I have a jar of those. Because even when I use a row counter, sometimes I'll forget to click and I'm not quite sure, so I only have to count like 25 or even 10, you know, depending on what I'm doing. I have a ball of hemp cord that I use for anchor yarn at the base if I'm doing something with like the stockinette stitch, and I start with that. And then I have these because invariably I get a hangnail or I break a nail or something and that gets a rough spot and it'll snag the yarn, so I have to file it down. So that's the stuff that's not really yarn related, but it's essential stuff. So then I have a box. I have a bunch of these kind of boxes that I keep everything in. And this particular one has all of my crochet hooks. Now, I don't usually use these in loom knitting because they're just way too big, you know, so I don't ever need anything like that. But I do use the other sizes. These are leftovers. Well, I still use them when I crochet, but that's what these are for. So I have a bunch of different sizes, and they all stay in this box. My picks. Every time you buy a new loom, you get a new pick. Most of them I don't care for. I love these. These are my favorite. I've started decorating these. This one has fabric on it. I just sprayed it, and I've got, I took some fabric and I wrapped it in fabric. But these are, you know, the knitting board picks. These are the Cindy Wood picks. You have the Nifty Knitter picks. You have whatever pick this came with. And I truthfully have absolutely no idea where I got these little wormy ones, but that's what it looks like a little caterpillar. I don't know. But I have all of these, and they all stay in here. When you buy the boards, like the knitting board and the all-in-one, and you know, the ones that you can like make wider or you can move around and stuff, you get all this hardware that comes with it. You get extra bolts, and you get extra side pieces, and you get nuts, and you get Allen wrenches, and you know, all this stuff. And I thought, where am I going to keep all this stuff? So I finally just got another little case, and that's where I keep it all. I keep my loom clips in here too. And then I also have this, which I think it's called a chibi. I'm not sure. But I usually take this with me if I'm going anywhere, and it holds needles. When I can get the top off. Okay, it's going to be difficult today and not come off. But anyways, it holds the needles. There it is. So I can carry like a tapestry needle or something with me in case I need it on a project that I'm working on. And I don't have to worry about, you know, poking myself with it or something. So I've got that one. Then I have this box. And in this box I keep, you know, like my cable stitch holders. I use these a lot. Like, I don't make socks anymore because I've decided I don't really like making socks, but I still use these. Like if I drop a stitch and I realize that I've got to take some out, I don't take it all the way back out. I take it down to below where it's dropped, and then I get everything back on one of these. I get all the loops back on, and then I put it back on the loom. So I keep those. I keep some Sharpie pens in here in different colors because I mark my patterns in different colors based on what I'm doing with them. I have cable stitch holders, some extra safety pins, the diaper pin type things. And then I have these. Somebody asked me the other day, what's a yarn guide? This is a yarn guide. Sorry. These are yarn guides. I bought these when I first started doing the looming. And I decided very quickly that I don't like them. I have 5. There's 4 of them here. I have 1 in another box. But I have 5. I have 3 pink and 1 green. I don't like them. I think I'm going to send them to somebody for a rake. If I find somebody, and I'm watching posts and stuff for people that use them. So, because I really, really don't like them. They slow me down, and I don't like going slow. So that's that. This box holds extra needles, my locking stitch markers, the round stitch markers, These are the rubber ones. Stephen likes ganging them all together, so these are the little ponytail holder ones that I usually use if I'm marking pegs off on the loom. I just stretch these across the 2 pegs, like on a double rake. If I am not using the whole loom and I need to stop myself, I just stretch these across the double rake and it stops me. And then I have these that actually go onto the yarn and use on the yarn. I have these, the gauge markers. I don't use them very often because I've like figured out, and I don't need the knitting needle stuff, so, but I keep them in here because as soon as I get rid of them, I'll need them for something. I just know it. Like I said, I have my pom-pom makers. You know, I have the smaller ones. I have the jumbo size one. I have never used the jumbo one for anything except to try it because it's so big. I have my flower maker, flower loom. And scissors. And then I have this that goes with me. That is my case that carries smaller scissors and more needles. And that way I don't poke myself because it's a locked case. I have my tape measures. I have blue painter's tape. This is what I use to mark my looms, like my sock loom and stuff. If I'm having to mark knit pearls, or any loom actually. I've used it on the S loom. I've used them on, you know, whatever to mark the loom because it doesn't stick. It doesn't leave any sticky residue at all. This, I keep my calculator in case I have to do any figuring on switching a pattern from knitting to looming, or even from crocheting to looming. You know, I have to like figure out stuff. So, and then I have this. This is like one of my coolest inventions that my husband made. These are the CD, DVR, DVD, whatever they're called, ROM things that you buy at Office Depot, Office Max, Staples, whatever, that hold the ones that you copy stuff onto, that you download stuff to on your computer. They come in a container like this. He took it, and there's a ring at the bottom, and the spindle, he took the spindle out, and then he cut a hole in the top, and this, you've got a purple and a green little foam disc. My son has one of those little guns that shoots these discs all over the house, and so I found a couple, and it makes a yarn guide. So basically I just thread the yarn through the purple, comes out the green, drop it on, put the top on, and that's where my yarn comes out. I don't have it tangle, it doesn't do anything, and when I'm done with it, I just pull it from that, put it back in the bag that I keep the yarn in, and that's it. It keeps it in its shape. I don't have to worry about it coming unraveled. It doesn't pop out of the yarn bowl and run all over the place. The other thing I have is this. This looks silly because it's just a paper towel tube, but if you work with ruffle yarn, that's what it does. If you've worked with ruffle yarn, you know that if you pull it straight out of the skein, it twists really badly. So when you wrap it onto this, when you're working on it, you still have to deal with it twisting because you're still pulling it from the skein to wrap it. But it's already opened up. You know, it's already opened part way at least. So you don't have to try and sit there and pull it apart. I'm trying to get it open now. You know, because you're stretching it out once. And so it's easy to stretch it when you're putting it on something. And it doesn't twist as bad during your project. So I keep paper towel holders. This is my row marker or row counter. I like this one because I can keep track of 3 projects at once on it. It'll hold up to 3 different projects. And I don't work on anything more than 2 typically at one time. Right now I have 3 going because I had a scarf that I had to wait for extra yarn to come in because I miscalculated. And then I have a baby 10 stitch and a full-size 10 stitch that I have going that I'll finish up today. And then these are the crochet hooks that I use most of the time. And I keep them in this little tube. These are 90% of the time, these are the ones I use. And I keep this little tube right next to me, on the table next to me. Has a little top on it. They don't go anywhere. And it is the coolest thing. So that's it pretty much. I mean, I have my yarn winder. I have, you know, stuff like that. But it's pretty much it. So hope you all have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.